Hello people, this is Ryder here to review the Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger versus Kiramager versus Senpaiger DX Kirameki Zenkaiju gear. So this is the Zenkaiju gear that Drew draws out and grants Zenkaiger and to Kaiser the Kirameki armors. As you know, in Kiramager versus Rue Soldier, Drew drew up for the Rue Soldiers the Kirameki Kyoryu Souls. They have a specific name, but it's in that kind of pattern where the Kiramagers give their predecessors or their successors a power up. And obviously this time around, the power up is a mix of both the Go Kiramager armor and the capes from the Rue Soldier armor. So as you can see from here, Kirameki Zenkaiger, is using the armor of Go Kirame Red, while Kirameki 2 Kaiser is using the armor for Go Kirame Silver from the final stage show. Here we have the Kirameki Zenkaiju gear right here. I really like this is a nice mix of Zenkaiger. This is primarily a Kiramager box, just with Zenkaiger on it. It's really neat, and this is in the same pattern as the Zenkaiju gear. We have Zenkaiger and 2 Kaiser on the side. Bottom is not anything. And there's the top, obviously plot reasons. We get Yakiniko, however it's pronounced. And then the back just is oddly premium, but I think this is also supposed to be in the same like aspect of concept. I don't know. QR code for the PDF and such. This is taking too long. I apologize. Bandai Namco. Alright, so here we have the package in full. As you can see, it's really tall. As you can see, the DVD case with a Blu-ray. I don't get it. My box is dented in because of the fact this thing is hollow inside. And then I do like this design and such. And then like the box is just here. And like we get all this weird space. And this also came with a book. A photo book. I forgot about that. Is there anyone else on this, or is it just Kaiser and Kirame Red? Yeah, it's just those two. Whoop-de-doo. Alright, so here we have the Kirameki Zenkaiju gear out of its box, and as you can deliberately tell, it's just a straight up repaint, as opposed to, like, there's nothing newly molded, it's just painted to be something from Crystalia for the most part and such. To which I do really like the clear blue body, at least, because it really does like signify it to be Kiramager and such. I think it would have been cooler if they were able to remold it, like for example, being able to remold the Dragon Caesar parts, or like, you know, because I think the V-Rex parts being like, I think with the V-Rex parts being like here, it doesn't look like the V-Rex, but the Dragon Caesar parts are now honestly pretty distracting, in my opinion. Like even like here, it's still the Z. I would have liked if they were able to remold this to be the Kiramager symbol or something like that. But other than that, like I do think the gold paint is really sharp overall on this thing. I really do like the metallic gold they added to this. Really helps, like, again, signify it being Kiramager. And like obviously it still carries green just for the sake of it being Zenkaiju gear base and such, and we have a little bit of red up here and like here for the eyes, because from looking at the Zenkaiju gear itself, there was already red. And as we can see here, just molded gold plastic for the arms and the tails, obviously because they're the most pliable pieces. We still have the gear back here, which you can barely see right there, but this is still B37, so obviously we're still going to get the same sounds. And obviously you saw me do it already. To transform it into gear mode, you want to flip the head back, twist this around for the Kirameki Zenkaiju gear. And obviously we have the pull tab like such. This one is definitely a lot more looser of a click, to say at least. It's not as ratchety. It definitely is a lot more, takes less effort, which I kind of prefer it when it's more stabilized, but because at least this one, like, I mean, this one, there is some, like, hold back, but, like, it's not enough in my opinion. But anyways, here are the comparisons between the two Zenkaiju gears. Obviously, this one being just plain silver, I obviously worked for what this was doing, because it was an amalgamation of two dinosaurs and such. So for it to be now crystallized is pretty interesting. Again, I just think it probably would have benefited from something being remolded. And then if we were to fold it into the gear mode, I think this is where this one kind of falls apart, just because obviously it doesn't help that this is transparent now, so it's just like, it doesn't look like anything really changed. And it's a lot more difficult now actually seeing the Kuryu in there, so you know, the face in there. However, where I think this toy does actually exceed are the sounds and such. So if we were to pull the pull tab, first of all, the voice of the Geartlinger is not even present in this toy at all. So there's not even any new, like, announcements. It's just, they just stripped down whatever sounds this had. And plus, the fact that they didn't even have, like, there's not even any, like, Zenkaiju gear sounds at all. The fact that that's the first sound we get is kind of weird. But, like I said before, that's at least a new sound, at least of when you actually just let it sit and such. We do have phrases from the Versus movie and such, which I think is about 12 to 16, to which we just simply cycle through them by spinning the gear at the back. We get phrases from 4 characters. I think that's the last phrase. Yeah. So we get phrases from Kaito, Juru, Mabushina, and Zox. which is pretty cool that we get at least 4 characters. It's kind of weird that they included the Kiramager roll call without the others. I find it weird when they do that with Sentai toys. And also, I don't know how this is coming out, but if you do like hear this, not that. But the thing is that for some reason with this toy, before it just shuts off, when it's on, it has this hum. Because it's basically like that basically lets you know that it's on, but I don't know why that hum is present. Because basically that hum is there because it's waiting for you to do something. And the thing is that it's only present in the kaiju mode. It's not present in the gear mode at all. And such. So speaking of the gear mode, we transform it like so. Again, no announcement. It's just the transformation sound. But as you can hear from here, there's no hum. But then when we transform it back, again, I don't know how that's coming through, but it's present again. So we will just keep like this. But before we actually use this in our Zenkaiger items, we actually do have things in this mode. As beforehand, it was the singular sound. For this toy, it's actually selecting the mode of how you want to play with this. So the first spin. So with Juru, you basically just play with. It's just basically how like standard Zenkaiju gear sounds. The next two, this switches it to Kaito mode, so you basically get Kaito phrases, and then with Zox mode, you get Zox phrases along with it and such. So with the Geartlinger, we are going to actually do it in the Kaito mode. Like so, to which obviously we just simply open the hatch like so. And you're going to definitely tell something about it. Or you can clearly tell which mode you're in when you insert it. To which, again, I forget how I insert this thing just because of how this thing works. So there we have Kaito announcing the transformation. And obviously, this is where it gets weird because you have to try to align the sounds because obviously this thing is timed to a specific point, but obviously you have to get that timing right. So what I'll do, just spin this as fast as possible until you hear this thing. And then fire this as possible. So there, as you can hear from there, we actually get the roll call for this form. So this is honestly the most annoying way of them trying to sync things up because you basically are pressured because you have to try to get the timing right in things. And as you can tell here, I like how this thing makes the sounds, or like makes the Kiramager sounds with Mabushina. Unlike this gear, they don't align it at all. So it overlaps, which delays the process and such. Which, again, makes it kind of hard to, like, try to get the timing down and such. because obviously it doesn't take that long for the gearlinger to like read the gear, because it's just typically 2 spins. But then this one goes over by a second as the battery exhausts. So you're basically like having to like fight against trying to get this thing to like accurately, like obviously, well, like obviously it'll read the gear, but like just trying to get the two to work. Like obviously it's possible and such, but it's the problem is this, because you want the standby for this one to link up to finish before this finishes, but you can't let the standby play for like a full round without having the roll call overlap by the end. Like obviously you can have an overlap because that's accurate, but you don't want like a like early overlap basically. But other than that, the sounds are the same. Because the thing is that this standby goes over for like one, or for like, this is like one standby for 2 rounds, which makes it difficult to try to get. But we'll do the finisher. Again, like I think the Versus movie does take advantage of the fact that like it's still, because it is still the Zenkaiju gear. They still utilize things from the Zenkaiju gear and such. But yeah, other than that, obviously going over, we do still have a mech summoning sound, to which this one is pretty interesting. So we get the Zenroku Zenkai. Zenroku Zenkai? Yeah. The standby with the Careful Go Arrow standby. So we actually do get the transformation sound for Kirameki Zenroku Zenkaiju, which is really cool. It sucks this is the sole sound you get out of this, but I love it overall because I really do like the Zenroku Zenkaiju standby. And for me, obviously, because I don't have the Zenroku Zenkai cannon, I'm happy to have a toy that has that standby. But like a different rendition of it. Like they took 2 really good standbys and put them together and such. Anyways, it went to Docs mode, so this is going to be more complicated because of how the Geartlinger works. So this one, you have, again, just try to be as fast as possible. So, both times I was a bit too eager, because I think you could have let the standby play through, but, yeah, I don't know. Again, you kind of have to fear, I guess, is it fearmonger? You kind of have to be fearful of, like, shoot, I have to get the timing down and such, but other than that, it's all the same. And obviously because of this moving, it's just gonna do that. So the case here. I get that Kaito's the one that does it, but like, you know, it is kind of weird just to still have him announce it in this mode. Cause I get to have that for Kaito's mode, but I kind of wish they just made it normal for the Zox mode. Like when I open it, I just want it timed properly. And now I gotta switch back, but anyways. Because then what we're going to use to represent the normal mode is the Gear Tojoinger, because I genuinely don't get why Stacy didn't get a version, to which obviously you have to remove this. Again, switch it to Juru. I messed up. So yeah, obviously this is just the same thing with no phrases and such, so meaning... I apologize, because I was gonna say, I think for this toy, playing with this in the Gear Tojoinger is like the best, because it actually, they sync up pretty well, and also, because of the fact this thing's louder than the Geartlinger and the Geartlinger, because I think this one's also louder. Like, the both of these just work, because they don't, like, one doesn't overpower the other and such. And like I said, they sync up well. I just did a poor job here. Which is unfortunate. Because, I don't know, I don't want to go through the effort of trying to show off a bad sync job, I guess. Because it's like... That was useless, it canceled. But, yeah, this is going to just put the tab in so then it doesn't scream at us or just sparkle at us randomly. But overall, was this the first? Technically, for the return of toy pack-ins for Visa Nexus, actually, yeah, this is the first Sentai Visa Nex toy pack-in, because, you know, the episode with Stinger was a V-Cinema. This is not bad. I do, like, it's pretty on par with the Zenkaiju gear. It just... It does more, at least. Like, there's at least variety to it. Like, you can actually change between whether or not you're using the Geertlinger or the Geertlinger. And, you know, again, the phrases that are included are pretty neat. It's at least plentiful, and just overall, I do like the combination of both the companionship. No, I do like how they put together the Zenkaiger and Kiramager stuff together. Even though, like, I don't mind this mainly being a Kiramager thing, just because it's like it works out for what it's doing and such. I've already kind of said, like, I guess my only, like, I've already said, like, what I would have preferred from this is potentially remolds. Like, I think these two pieces could have been remolded, potentially into Smug Joku. And I admire what they were trying to do with the voice modes and such. It's just kind of infuriating how they did it. It's an infuriating way of trying to get that to work. I feel like they probably should have. I think it would have been better if there was background sounds just to help fill out that out and such, because obviously you can't, because it's just like it does bother me when you can't get get them to line up, because it's just like, you know, it's like a mental memory of just like, okay, I have to only spin this twice here, then I have to let the standby play for X amount of time, and then just hope it works and such. And like, it is relieving when you finally do perfectly like time it, but it's, again, it's an optional play pattern. If you don't want to go through that effort, like, obviously you can just scroll through the phrases, but it's just like, you know, it is cooler when it's like actually synced up for the most part. Other than that, though, not a bad first outing for our first VSinex toy packing. And I don't know how much this goes for in the aftermarket, personally. I think this, because it is a disc packing item, I'm just going to say at least, like, it can be between, at lowest, $40 to at highest, like, $70. Like, if you don't want to get the Blu-ray, then just try to get this as cheap as possible. But the Blu-ray itself is like, what, $120 or so, because that's just how Japanese media is. I don't know. Like, I hope this thing's easy, but I don't think it is. But yeah, that had to do this review. This is Ryder on Movie People. Bye.